Hello and welcome to Holistic Yoni Care TV. I'm Dominique Danielle and I'm so glad that you've joined me for this live Q&A session. Tonight I'm going to be answering your questions about Yoni eggs. So feel free to drop your questions into the chat and I will answer them as I go along. I do have some questions that were submitted by a few people earlier this year. Let me turn this off. Earlier this week, excuse me. And so I'll be answering those questions first. And as I see any questions in the chat, I am happy to answer those for you. If you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Feel free to drop your question in the comment section below this video, and I will respond to every single one of them. So as I said, I'm Dominique Danielle. I'm the founder of Holistic Yoni Care, and I have been creating this series to really bring you as much information as I can for your beginner's journey, starting with Yoni eggs. And so this week I had a few questions that people asked me about how do I choose the right Yoni egg, right? If you can relate to this, definitely let me know in the comments. So there's so many different Yoni eggs to choose from, different stones. And so we'll talk about how to choose the right Yoni egg. I've also gotten the question, what's the difference between a drilled egg and a non-drilled egg? Not just what's the difference, but how do I know if I should start with a drilled egg as opposed to starting with a non-drilled egg? So we're also going to dive into that. And then finally, before we close out tonight, I'll be sharing with you a couple of exercises that you can do with or without your Yoni eggs to strengthen your Yoni, bring more vitality and more vaginal consciousness, because that's ultimately what this journey is all about. So before we hop into the content for tonight, make sure that you subscribe and also click the notifications bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload another video. I have a lot more coming for you all, so I'm very excited about that. And also, if you think that this might be helpful to somebody in your network, go ahead and share this live stream or share this video out to your friends. So let's get into it. My very first question that I received this week was, how do I tell whether to use a drilled egg or a non-drilled egg when starting my practice? So I want to show you really quickly what I mean when I say drilled. So I have some of my eggs that I offer in my shop are non-drilled, which means it's just a solid crystal Yoni egg. Others have a hole. They are pre-drilled with a hole. As you can see, this rose quartz here. And the hole is so that you can insert a string. And so all Yoni eggs, of course, are going to be inserted into the vagina with the wider end first. What happens is when you have a string, number one, it makes it easier to remove the egg. So if you're just getting started, of course, working with the yoni muscles is a very different thing. There's a lot of coordination to learn. There's different isolations you can do with different muscles. So for some people, removing the egg is super easy. For others, it can be a little bit more challenging as you're learning to get acclimated to the practice. So having a string through the hole here will help you to remove the egg a lot easier. That's one reason for the string. Another way that you can use the string, I really like drilled eggs because they're versatile, right? You can really advance your practice. You can also advance your practice with a non-drilled egg, but the drilled egg enables you to attach small vaginal weights. So there are some out there who call this vaginal weightlifting. I've even heard the term vaginal kung fu, but in a nutshell, it's attaching weights. So you can either apply light pressure to, or tension to the string, excuse me, when you insert the egg by just simply tugging on the string a little bit while you are squeezing your yoni muscles. And this is a gentle way to kind of strengthen those muscles and get your yoni acclimated to gripping on to the egg. This is a really good practice. Mantak Chia actually talks a lot about this. If you Google him, he's a modern Taoist master. So having that string and just applying a little bit of light tension, tugging on the string while you're gripping with the yoni and trying to keep the egg in place is a great way to build strength. You can also attach small weights. There are vaginal weights out there that you can shop around online for. Some people like to use other small crystals. If you have beads that have holes through them, you can also attach those here. And so those are different ways to advance your practice. And so when you're just getting started and you're trying to decide between a drilled or a non-drilled egg, my advice is to do what you feel most drawn to in terms of the stone, but also starting with a drilled egg is a really good idea because you never know how you are going to respond in terms of your own body to the egg, especially if this is your first time ever, trying anything like this. So starting with a drilled egg is a great option. It allows you to remove the egg easier. You can advance your practice, and there's so many different things you can do. And the great thing is, if you don't want to use the string for whatever reason, you can just take it out and you can still use the egg just by itself. You just need to make sure, of course, with the drilled eggs that you use something like maybe a pipe cleaner to go through the hole. I do have a video on my channel. I believe the last video I did showing you how to clean the eggs. So make sure that you look that up, and I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video showing how to clean the egg. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to share about the drilled versus non-drilled egg. So if you're just getting started, sometimes two of the main challenges faced by women are either one, the yoni egg. My yoni egg falls out really easily. What do I do? Or my yoni egg, I'm afraid my yoni egg is going to get stuck. And so those are the two things that most people face at one point or another in their yoni egg journey. And so having that string is a great option for you, just in case you may have a lot more tension in the pelvic floor. This is something you may be unaware of. And so, of course, being able to remove your egg is a great plus. So let me know if you have any further questions, particularly about drilled versus non-drilled eggs. Oh, and I do want to say something else about that. So you're probably wondering, then what's the point of a non-drilled egg? So I think that when you have a non-drilled egg, because you're not going to be using it with a string, it's really, the focus is more on finding that vaginal coordination, learning how to coordinate those muscles so that you can move your egg up and down throughout the vaginal canal by isolating different muscle groups. So of course, you're going to be doing this practice also with the string. The string just allows more versatility with the drilled eggs. So all in all yoni eggs are going to help you build pelvic floor and vaginal strength. They're going to help you build awareness. They're going to help you to develop more vaginal lubrication. They help with circulation. So if there are issues like hormone-related issues that are related to maybe some congestion in the pelvic area, working with a yoni egg is going to promote healthy circulation. So this also can help with hormone balance. So there's so many different benefits, whether you go with a drilled egg or a non-drilled egg. So now we're going to hop into the second question that I received this week, which is, how do I know which yoni egg to choose from? Now, in my shop at HolisticYoniCare.com, I offer 7 different stones, and some of them are drilled, some of them are non-drilled, some of them I offer both. And so you may be looking like, okay, all of these sound great. I've read all the properties. How do I choose between stones? So really quickly, we're going to go through each stone. I'm going to share with you some of the properties and what you might want to think of. And I'll preface this by saying, there are a lot of women who collect yoni eggs in different stones, because why not? Every stone offers something unique, and you may work with one stone one day, and you may choose to work with a different stone on another day, depending on how you're feeling or what you might be working on. And so understanding the properties of the stones will help you choose your first egg. And I hope over time that you'll get so excited about your journey that you build your collection, as I myself have done. So we're going to start talking about red jasper. Red jasper, I have both non-drilled and drilled eggs in my shop, okay? And right now I actually have a sale on the red jasper. Red jasper is a stone that I like to think of as a generator. It brings a lot of energy, a fire. It's very vibrant. And this is also a stone that is used to correspond to muscle strength. So if your goal is to build pelvic floor strength, this is a great egg to get started with, drilled or non-drilled. This, as I said, corresponds to the fire element. So it corresponds to the root chakra. And the root chakra is about grounding, but it's also about having that strong core foundation. So we'll talk more about I have some other stones for grounding, and I'll share with you the difference in those stones and how they affect your root chakra differently. This is more like if you need that jolt of energy to stand firm in your power, and you're just feeling a little bit less motivated, let's say, this is a great egg to really get you back motivated, activate that center of identity and that core knowingness of who you are so that you can bring your full self to the situation. Another thing about red jasper, hi Lucy, thanks for the emoji. So another thing about red jasper is this is a great stone for working with any type of sexual issues. So if there's any type of shame or guilt that has been going on around sexual issues, or maybe you just feel like you're not expressing yourself sexually the way that you really want to, red jasper is definitely a great stone to work with to bring out your own natural sexual confidence. And so you might wear your red jasper if you're going on a date, or if you just want to feel in your feminine juiciness for that day. This is a great stone to use for that. So while we're on the subject of grounding, I'm going to show you, I have black obsidian. Okay, now black obsidian is a beautiful stone that also corresponds to the root chakra and the earth star chakra, which is actually below the feet. And this is what anchors us to the earth element, to the earth plane. So this stone right here is a very powerful grounding stone. Now, the difference between this kind of grounding with red jasper and with black obsidian is not so much an energizer, it's a pulling stone. So it really brings that energy out of the higher chakras down deep into your body. And the beautiful thing is black obsidian is also a seer stone. There's people that use these for divination. So if you've ever seen like a crystal ball, there are a lot of those in circulation because this stone is like almost like a black mirror. So I like to think of it as seeing into the deepest core parts of ourself, those shadow aspects of the self that we may be unaware of that can still be having an impact on how we show up and how our lives play out. Well, black obsidian will help you to bring those things to light and deal with them. It can help you to process things like trauma, things that have a hold on you emotionally. This is a great purifier to be able to transmute that energy and give it back to the earth so that you're not carrying around things that weigh you down. So if there's any healing that you want to do, if you're going through a hard time, especially right now in the fall season, black obsidian is a very good stone to use with. We are in the shadow period of the year when the veil between the seen and unseen, the light and dark, the world of, you know, our reality in the spiritual realm is the thinnest. And this is when we are going to likely be confronted with those things that are going on behind the scenes, those subconscious motivators, and the things that have gotten rooted in our psyche that may or may not be serving us any longer. So black obsidian is a very good stone to use for that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'd like to say? So just think shadow work when it comes to black obsidian. And another root chakra stone I have is bloodstone. So bloodstone is actually a stone for the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra. It works with the 3 lower chakras. This is also a grounding stone, but the way it's different from red jasper and black obsidian is that this helps you to stand in your purpose. It's also known as the stone of the spiritual warrior. So think about purpose, your identity, your authenticity, and that part of you that stands on your truth no matter what. So bloodstone is also known as a purifier. So it's been said for many years that it helps to purify the blood, but on the more emotional and mental and spiritual level, it also purifies will and intent. So again, going back to that idea of purpose. And so if you are in a space where you're trying to figure out, who am I? What are my values? What do I stand for? And what should I be doing with my life? You know, as opposed to what everyone else told me I should be doing. How do I reconcile how I feel and my desires with my deepest truth and stand on that no matter what opposition I may face? That's what bloodstone will help you with. So the reason I'm going so deep into this is because as you build your collection, there's going to be times in your life where you go through different things. So you might need times if you're going through a time with a lot of challenges and you're questioning your own sense of purpose. So bloodstone will help you definitely to step into your own truth and the purity of your own intention. Okay, my computer is freezing up, so I don't know if y'all can still see me. Let me just check here. By a few people earlier this week, excuse me. And so I'll be answering those questions first. Okay, so you guys let me know if you can still see me. Looks like I'm back now. Okay, I apologize about that. So that was Bloodstone. So now we're going to move up to the heart chakra and talk about rose quartz. Rose quartz is a beautiful stone to work with if you are deepening into the sense of unconditional love. Unconditional love is so powerful, and it's something that I think we're always aspiring towards in life to understand deeper, because we go through so many things that can be challenging. And so this is a beautiful stone to work with, opening up that heart energy. It can help with things like sadness and grief if you've had any type of loss. It can also help you if you want to be more intimate and more open so that you can connect with a partner in a loving, intimate relationship. This is a beautiful stone to work with. The other stone I wanted to tell you about when it comes to heart energy is Rhodonite. Rhodonite is a powerful stone for opening the heart, and the way that is different is that this stone also works with the sacral chakra. So if you are healing from any type of emotional setbacks, wounding, even if you've had wounding related to childbirth or any type of trauma, Rhodonite is a very powerful way for you to transmute that energy, bring it up and out through the heart so that you can transmute it into love. And so I wanted to distinguish between rose quartz and Rhodonite. Gosh, I want one of each. I know, right? So good. So Rhodonite can actually, like I said, help. It helps more with emotional healing so that you can get to that space of openness to be able to be ready for a deeper, intimate connection. Whereas rose quartz is, I feel like a bit of a lighter energy, and it's more about refining the way that you experience and express love in your life. And so that's kind of the difference between these two. I also really like rose quartz because it helps you to understand self-love. I remember when I was going through a divorce, this was like my number one go-to stone for everything. I have many different types of rose quartz around my house, and it was really powerful for me to keep my heart open, to not become bitter, and to be able to process all the things I was going through, learn the lessons, be compassionate, but at the same time not feel shut down. So rose quartz is keeping the heart open, deepening into intimacy. Rhodonite is more emotional healing. The last thing I'll say about Rhodonite is if you've dealt with any type of betrayal, especially things like self-harm, depression, this is a great stone to use. And I'll add that the Rhodonite stones that I have in my shop are all drilled, which is excellent as a starter stone as well, because Rhodonite is the heaviest stone that I offer. And when you're just starting out with a Yoni egg, having a heavier stone will help you to build strength a lot faster, because your yoni muscles are going to be able to grip the stone because they have to work a little bit. And so this, like I said, is the number one stone for building pelvic floor strength and the heaviest stone I offer in my shop. So if you are absolutely undecided, I would say Rhodonite is an excellent first choice. And so finally, I got two more to share with you. Green Aventurine. Green Aventurine is the stone of optimism. And so this is also a heart chakra stone, but this deals more with the heart chakra energy of gratitude, of acceptance, and abundance. There's some connection between our sense of value and how grateful we are, right? And how abundant we are in terms of our finances, the amount of joy and positive experiences in our lives. And so this stone is really a great stone to just any of those days where you need that little uplifting boost of energy. This is a great stone if you're, let's say, going into a job interview or some type of interaction where you want that sense of almost good luck. This is a powerful stone to use for that. And this will also work if you're not particularly working on any particular issue and you just want a day-to-day stone to keep your spirits light. This is a great stone for that. And of course, if you're doing any work around manifesting and prosperity, this is the #1 stone for manifesting and prosperity. You can actually even carry this around in your purse because it's said to attract money and wealth. So that's green aventurine. And the final stone I'll tell you about in my shop is clear quartz. Clear quartz is a crown chakra stone. So this is going to bring in the higher spiritual energy. I like to have this stone around because it promotes deep spiritual awareness as well as mental clarity. So if you are dealing with anything related to communication, or just want to develop a more spiritual connection, this is a great stone to actually insert during your meditations if you're going to be doing yoga or just trying to find that sense of stillness within yourself. Clear quartz is an excellent stone for that. Clear quartz is also known as a master crystal. It can substitute for any stone in case you don't have a particular stone. It's also an aura purifier. So this is going to purify and cleanse your aura the same way that a black obsidian would. And this raises your vibration. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you in terms of the stone. So when deciding on what to start on, the best thing I can say is, what is your intention for beginning a Yoni Egg practice? Why are you interested in using a Yoni Egg? By starting there, it'll help you figure out which qualities are you looking to bring more into your life, and then you can choose an egg from there. So just to recap, Rhodonite is the heaviest stone I offer. That's the pink one with a little gray and black inclusions. And this is great for building pelvic floor strength, especially if you're just getting started. If you've experienced childbirth in the past, if you're dealing with any type of incontinence, this is an excellent stone to begin with. We have the root chakra stones such as Bloodstone and Black Obsidian. If you're working on deepening more into heart energy, there's the rose quartz. There's also the green aventurine for optimism, luck, and wealth and prosperity. And clear quartz, of course, for raising your overall vibration. So I hope that this has been helpful. You guys, let me know in the comments if this has been helpful for you to learn more about those stones. And the final thing that I want to share with you before we go tonight, if you don't have any other questions for me, is a couple things that you can do with your egg. So when you first insert your egg, I think that one of the best ways that helped me to get started in my practice was to do so lying down on my back. And a lot of the initial work I did with my egg was during sleeping at night. And this just allowed my body to acclimate to the egg and gave my vaginal muscles a chance to get used to gripping on the egg. So if you lie on your back, it's best to do this on the floor so that you have really a firm, flat foundation with your knees bent. You can simply place your hands in this Yoni Mudra, and you place them over your abdomen like so, right? As you're laying on your back. And simply take a few moments to connect in with your breath. And what you want to do with your egg inserted, after you've taken a few deep breaths to just kind of get still, is inhale and squeeze the egg, just as you're doing a Kegel. So this is the same movement as if you were trying to stop the flow of urine. And then on your exhale, you want to fully release. And this is a very simple exercise you can do. I would say repeat this about 15 to 30 times. If you do it right before bed and then do it when you wake up, that's all you need for the day to get started. This is going to help you to bring more strength and more freshly oxygenated blood to the pelvic floor so that you get all of those delicious benefits. You can do this with or without your egg. Having your egg inserted is even better because you're still working those muscles. That is wonderful information about the properties of each stone. Thank you so much for the feedback. I'm glad that you found it helpful. And so doing this exercise, this is considered yoni breathing, right? So you want to inhale and squeeze, exhale and release those muscles. And when you squeeze, make sure that you are only squeezing the muscles that you're using to stop the flow of urine. You don't want to be squeezing your abs. You don't want to be squeezing your glutes to overcompensate. If you're doing these things, maybe slow down, just take a break, and try to only isolate those pelvic floor, those PC muscles when you do this squeeze. And have fun with it. So let me know how this exercise works out for you all. Yoni breathing is a very powerful way to strengthen yourself, to empower yourself, to develop vaginal consciousness, and to be able to acclimate to your egg. And of course, you can also do this exercise standing up. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. I look forward to connecting with you again. We're going to be talking about some different aspects of Yoni Care as we continue throughout our journey on this channel. Of course, you can leave a comment below, send me an email, dominique@holisticyonicare.com, if you ever have any questions. And keep in mind that right now I do have a red Jasper sale going on. So all of my red Jasper eggs are on sale. This is the lowest price that they will ever be. It's only going to go up from here. So I advise you take advantage of the sale while it's still on. For all of my YouTube fans out there, if you use coupon code YTLOVE, you can take $5 off your purchase, and that includes the sale item. So you get $5 off the sale price, which is awesome. So go to holisticyonicare.com, and also make sure that you're to subscribe to this video and hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload. Until we meet again, just remember, you get to choose how you show up in life. Love yourself fiercely, own your story, and say yes to you. Namaste.